have the brain wave demonstration today, and especially for this we have today amidst us Professor Dr. Krishna Shamarao, who is uniquely trained in the medical sciences with basic qualifications both in medicine and dentistry and postgraduate training and qualifications in general surgery, plastic surgery and maxillofacial surgery. He's been a pioneer surgeon in treating congenital deformities in children and has his own foundation, the Maya Foundation, which currently supports free treatment of deformed children in 11 centers across India. He is currently a recognized research guide leading to PhD in 2 medical universities in India. He is actively involved in research in the science of spirituality, bridging mainstream knowledge of science in terms of medicine, physics and so on with the science of the Vedas. Several research projects have been initiated out of the Nityananda Dhyanapitham, which are already in progress and in collaboration with well-known international universities and research organizations, being co-led by Dr. Krishna Shamarao and the research team in Nityananda Dhyanapitham. So let's extend a warm welcome to Dr. Krishna today. Dr. Krishna will be interpreting the waves that you will be seeing. So whatever the machine is going to show, the man, Dr. Krishna, is going to explain that to us and translate it into what it means. Welcome.
Ma, if you sit in my breathing space, already the brain will start showing the Kundalini awakening. You have to sit there. No, really. The baseline never happens in my breathing space. Ma, she should sit on the floor. In my breathing space, you will never get a baseline. No, anybody, if they come in my breathing space, we don't get a baseline. Already the Kundalini starts working. Yes, doctor. Please continue.
Nityanandam, as explained earlier, we have done a number of studies which kind of bridges the gap between currently known physics, currently known medicine with spirituality as given in the Vedas. Now, what we will be looking at today is what is called a brain wave. Now, you all know that the brain, the whole human body, in fact, is a conglomeration of about 50 trillion cells working together as a sangha. And these 50 trillion cells have decided that they will make one part of that organization the one that would coordinate all the activities. This part of the organization is called the brain. So the brain is basically a center of coordination for all the activities of all the cells of the human body and its relationship with the other aspects of the cosmos. Now, the brain works on 2 principles. One, at a lower and a slower level, it works on chemical energy, which are hormones secreted locally or other chemical messengers. But the larger component is electrical energy, which is generated not only by the brain and the spinal cord, but also by each and every cell in the human body. In fact, there is electrical energy everywhere within our system. And this is collated into the spinal cord and reaches up to the brain, where the energies are interpreted and tells you what is exactly happening. And that's how the brain assesses the function of the human body and also what is happening around us. Now, normally the EEG machine, which was supposed to study the electrical activity of the brain, was meant to study epilepsy. It was never designed to study Kundalini energy. Later on, they started experimenting by studying things like meditation, which is at the other end of the spectrum, where you are actually relaxed but aware. You are in a state of restful awareness. The entirely other end of the spectrum is where there is a tremendous rush of energy into the system. I'll explain that as you see it, only then you will understand, which also has certain effects which are extremely significant to the human body. Now, how many of you have heard of the research, the Higgs particle and the God particle, and the research going on in Switzerland? Yeah? Now, what they do is they use a huge quantum of energy to break a minute bond between two subatomic particles. And then they study this subatomic particle, and that they are hoping to find the Higgs particle or whatever it is. Similarly, the energy that is initiated during Kundalini awakening can break the bond in your chakras, especially your Ajna chakra, which, if you look at it scientifically, it's not at the level of the pituitary gland as is usually explained, but at the level of the limbic system, where emotion and memory are stored together. Every memory is stored along with an emotion. And to break that connection requires a tremendous impact of energy. And that Kundalini awakening can provide. We will see what happens actually, that Swamiji calls unclutching. We will see it in a different way today. The brain waves are technically divided as delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. All Greek letters. Delta when you are fast asleep, very slow waves in terms of frequency. The next is theta. Alpha is when you are awake with your eyes closed. Beta when you are awake and doing some work. And theta during muscular activities. Now let us see what happens in an average person during an average moment of sitting with the eyes closed and then the eyes open. There are two ways of looking at this picture. Can you see the picture clearly? Nothing yet? Okay. You got
Ma, she should not meditate, she should just be sitting. Show the doctor, you have to tell her not to meditate.
No meditation, no nothing. You just sit.
Show the baseline.
You sit with your eyes closed for a few seconds. Then when I ask you to open your eyes, you open your eyes. Eyes closed now. So what you see is different colors in the circular areas, from blue to orange to white. She's kind of already partially activated, unfortunately. Otherwise, somebody else who has just walked into the ashram would be showing a lot of blue and orange and red color and very little white at this moment.
No, just now she was sitting here. That is the another one problem.
So what you can see now is that she has got her eyes closed, and therefore the delta waves are quite active, as you can see. And the alpha wave, which is the idling, like when you turn the motor on in a car, it's idling but doing nothing. That's also very active because it's almost turning white. This is the eyes closed activity of a normal brain, usually to a lesser extent than this. This is a little hyper compared to a normal person. Can you open your eyes now? As soon as she opens her eyes, you see that the alpha waves start disappearing. It becomes blue, which means it's now not as active as it was before. The delta also is largely becoming blue, but the other waves, like the theta waves and the beta waves, are now getting increased in size. So this demonstrates that the idling capacity of the brain has stopped, and now it's doing some thinking work. The blue areas are the beginning of activation, and the very white areas are areas of extreme activation. Now you can see that this is the general phenomenon that you would see in an average person. Different parts of the brain showing different waves at different times. This is normal. We do not show all the waves all the time at all the places.
We can start? Get her now here.
There are two things to a brain wave. One is the frequency. Based on the frequency, it's called alpha, beta, theta, etc. That is number of cycles per second. And the other aspect of the brain is called the amplitude. Based on the amplitude, the color changes from blue to white. Normally the scalp, which is so far away from the brain, catches very little electrical energy, and therefore the amplitude is very, very less.
Doctor, when you say ready, I'll activate.
One more sentence. So if the amplitude increases, you'll see that the color changes to a white because it's gone beyond the spectrum of the machine, actually. The machine can capture up to red, and after that it can only show white because it doesn't know how to calculate the amplitudes higher than that. And these amplitudes come from very deep within the brain, called the thalamus, the hypothalamus.
The problem is, the moment she entered my breathing space, see,
already she is getting activated, as you can see.
You are able to see?
See, nothing is being done, but she is already getting larger and larger areas. The delta is fully activated while she is awake. Now she should be fast asleep actually, if she is showing this degree of delta.
I'll try to withdraw something so that the normal baseline is shown. Now only then the difference will be.
You can see the difference between when she was sitting out there and what's happening to her now. And she has not even been fully activated yet.
No, now only I have to activate. When you say yes, I will look at her.
So we can activate now, Swami.
Namah Shivaya.
So what you can see now is that the amplitude of all the brain waves, whether it's delta or beta or alpha or delta, have increased to such an extent that the mapping is now showing a white, intense white color. And this signifies that there is a tremendous surge of energy, which you can see in the squiggly lines below. You know, the kind of waves that you've seen are not the waves that she had earlier. Almost all the brain waves are simultaneously activated at all times.
Now settle down.
Now, as the brain settles, the beta, which is the center where when you meditate, is still active, very, very active. The alpha has gone back to idling and resting. The theta is doing nothing. The delta is active, which is a state of restfulness. Basically, you're asleep when you're in delta. So she's kind of extremely alert and partially asleep at the moment.
You want me to awaken once more so that they will see the number?
Yeah.
Come on.
So once again you see the same thing. All the waves are completely activated and they have gone off the charts. And as she is less activated, you can start seeing that it's the delta and the beta, which is restful and aware, which is being now in the highest intensity.
It takes only, I think, 2 seconds to, you will see now.
So once
you are able
again,
to see? It takes only 2 seconds.
I think the difference is very obvious.
Like a switching on and off, I can.
It's like you have a switch outside and you can switch on the brain on and off. That's what is happening right now. If you see that occasional black spot which you saw in the beta, it is the highest recording possible by this particular machine. we just saw one black spot.
No,
right
now I'll show you again. What is there? Namah Shivaya.
When you're awake, delta can never be activated like this. Delta should have been fully blue in color. Nor should alpha be activated when your eyes are open.
This is what Patanjali calls Samadhi, Jakrit Sushupti. Restful, see, rest like a deep sleep, awareness like a highest waking state. Doctor, you please continue, explain.
She's slowly settling down now. You can see activity in the beta in full, even in the state of non-activation by Swamiji, and delta. The others are not functioning so highly, which means she is now in a state of meditation.
Ma, it is seen there, projected?
Okay. So
if you guys have any question, you can ask him.
If you have any questions, that would be nice, actually. It will be easier to explain. Yes, please. It came momentarily. I think if we repeat the test, we can see it.
You want to see the black spot once more? Did you get it?
No, not yet.
Oh, no.
We got it once in the beta circle. Please remember, this machine is not designed to recognize waves beyond a certain amplitude.
If I do more, she may become enlightened now itself. So I have to. Come on, at least once I will show them the black. Only then they will be satisfied just for that. All right, now sit there itself, it's okay. Then I will show.
Everything has gone blank, which means it's already reached the highest amplitude.
I think I'll let her rest few minutes.
But she did show a black spot in the first part of the demo, anyway.
If you have any other questions, you can ask. Ma, can you fix on some participants and show, Ma? The baseline and all that? But a whole cleaning and everything will be a big mess.
Yes, please.
If you had that cap on somebody who doesn't physically move around like that,
That's right.
with the brain waves.
Yes, we have done that.
Okay.
We have done on Achala and few people who don't physically move on them. Even then the brain waves show the same thing. We have the recorded one, we can show you.
There are two types of people who get energized, the levitators and the non-levitators. Both show the same changes in their EEG pattern.
Both show the same result in the
Exactly
brain.
the same result.
Yes.
Any other questions?
As you look at the screen from top to bottom, how do you distinguish the different type of brain waves, alpha, beta, and so forth?
I can't get you. Can you repeat the question again, please?
As you're looking at the screen from top to bottom, how do you distinguish the different types of brain waves, alpha, beta, theta, and so forth?
Oh, okay. You actually can program the machine to identify, what you see on the left are the areas where the electrodes are placed. Can you see the, no, you can't see anything. Okay, now what you see on the left in like FP, frontal, parietal, and there are different positions. So this is an electrode with about 21 leads. So there are 21 leads attached to the electrode, and this corresponds to different parts of the cerebral hemisphere. So based on whether it is frontal or temporal or occipital or central, the different alphabetical names are given to that.
Doctor, this is recorded for non-levitators. This one.
What you are seeing now is what is recorded already for non-levitators.
People who don't move.
People who don't move but have shown the same activity. Now, you can program the machine to study the particular brain wave that you would like to. So when you say you want to read the delta, beta, and the alpha, it records all three. You'll have to sit and scrutinize each and every one of them independently. It takes time.
So in that case where we were just looking, that bottom large wave that we saw on the bottom of the screen, that was one particular wave, one particular brain wave?
Which one?
The one on the bottom, the one that was rather large, a wave that was on the bottom of the screen. Is that one particular brain wave?
You're talking of the black spot?
No.
No.
What we were just looking at a moment ago.
I didn't get your question again. I'm very sorry.
When we looked at the screen, there was a large wave on the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So is that one particular wave, one particular brain wave?
Yes. These are waves from the. Can you read the? It's CZ. O2, occipital 1, occipital 2. So that's the posterior part of the brain, which is normally activated when you're awake but with your eyes closed. You find that the alpha waves in the occipital region are active. But what you see as very large spikes, that's the amplitude of the spike. You don't see that level of amplitude in a normal person. It would just spike a little bit, maybe about 20 to 30 microvolts. Such large spikes are unusual and usually characteristic of maybe epilepsy or some other, disorders where large amounts of electrical energy is given off at a particular point.
And each of those circles that's on the top, is that each one of those a particular brainwave?
I'll need you to repeat the question again, I'm sorry.
Each of those circles that's near the top of the screen, is each of those a particular brainwave?
Yeah, they're each for, but they're averaging the brain waves for the entire 21 electrodes, the circular areas. They're not studying the individual brain waves, they're averaging it out for all the brain waves. So this is the brain wave of a non-levitator, pre-recorded. Again showing the same thing, which is intense increase in the amplitude of the wave, which is why the waves become white in color.
Okay.
There are some studies in which I have seen black spots also. I don't know if they have those in.
Bhagwan, I'd like to ask you a question. 2.5 years ago, when everybody's Kundalini was awakened, everybody was vibrating so so much. Now things are coming.
It is actually my decision. I can make people jump, or it's my decision. I reduced it because it became a big visual nuisance.
Okay.
That is the reason.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Nothing else. Visually it looks too odd, so I reduced. But otherwise the effect in the brain is same. I have programmed many things to be more cultured and socially polished. To be niraharis. You can eat once in a while, but don't bring eating as a pattern, lifestyle back. Eat whenever you feel like. And don't eat when you don't feel like. But don't have daily eating pattern. Don't eat more than once a day. That is, see, if you eat more than once a day, then you have fallen into the regular eating pattern. Don't allow that. You don't have to completely avoid food also. Just don't see to it, especially the food which you crave. The pattern creating food, never touch them. So blessings to all the Inner Awakening participants. Successfully, all of you have graduated the Inner Awakening. 16th Inner Awakening, successful completion. So only one thing I wanted to share with you. Breathe air. A-I-R-E. Authenticity, integrity, responsibility, enriching. I bless you all. Be blissful.